Hey everyone, today we are going to move to module 2 for 6th grade and we'll be doing the session 1 of the 3 sessions. This is chapter 6 in the textbook, and the prose is where there is a will, there is a way, and the poetry is the way to succeed. And this is the first session of the 3 sessions that we will be doing. So for the opening, we are going to introduce the 2 characters that is in the prose where there is a will, there is a way. So the 2 characters, Vilma, and the second character is Raphael, and what we are going to do for this first part of the session is we are going to stick pictures in the class to introduce the 2 characters. So you've got display cards with pictures of both Vilma and Raphael. So these are the 2 pictures that we have, and they both are Olympic champions who've won the Olympic medals, and we're going to introduce these 2 characters to the class. To start off, what you're going to do is you're going to tell the children the story, and also just show them the pictures at first saying these are the 2 characters, and now you're going to tell them the story. So to tell them the story, we're going to do it in a little more exciting manner. So for the first activity, what we're going to do is we're going to tell them the story of the 2 characters, Vilma and Raphael. So we have pictures, we're going to put it up in class, and we're going to just introduce the characters to the students, saying this is Vilma and this is Raphael, who were 2 people who won the Olympic medals. Now you're going to tell them the story about these 2 characters. So tell them the story, we'll do it in a little more fun way. So what you're going to do is split the class into 2. And you can see that one team is going to do Vilma's story and the other team is going to do Raphael's story. Now in your manuals, you have the story split into 3 parts. So if you see, there's Vilma's story and it's split into 3 parts. And next you have Raphael's story, which is also split into 3 parts. So I'm going to tell you how the class is going to look like when you do this activity. So there's team A and there's team B, and there will be the first group, second group, third group, first group, second group, third group. So this is one story, this is the other story. So they will be facing each other. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start reading the story. So when you read the first part of Vilma's story, so if team A is Vilma's story, the first team will enact it. So you read it out, give them a few minutes, and let the first team enact that first part, whatever you're reading. So basically they have to be standing in a still, and then when you read the story, let them discuss really fast and they act it out. Then after they finish acting it out, then you read the second part of the story, same story of Vilma's story. So when you read the second part of the story, the second team will act it out. And once they finish acting it out, you read the third part of the story and the group 3 will act it out. So you're doing Vilma's story in 3 parts. So the first team will do the first part, the second part, and the third team will do the third part of the story. So basically you're going to divide the class into 2 teams, and again within the team you make 3 groups, and those groups will enact that bits of the story. Now after you finish Vilma's story, you go to the next character and you do the same. So you read the story, the first part of the story, the first team will enact. Once they finish enacting, you read the second part of the story, the second team will enact. You read the third part of the story, and the third team will enact. So you can just explain the story to them maybe in the vernacular language as well, in case they don't get the story. So this is how we are going to introduce the story to the students. So make sure that they get a little time, not too much, maybe a few minutes to just get prepared with a few actions and things like that, and then they can just act it out and they go back in still. So whenever they're acting, remember, they're all in still, they act it out and they go back in still, and then the passenger continues with the next part of the story. So this is how you will do the opening. Now for the main creation, what we are going to do is we are going to teach them proverbs. So this chapter, there is a proverb where there is a will, there is a way, and there is a story attached to it. So for the activity, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a few more proverbs, not just one. We'll have 4 proverbs which they're going to learn. So this is a story handout that you have received for the proverbs. And now what the idea of this activity is that there is 4 proverbs which is hidden within this text. So all these 4 proverbs will be found somewhere within the text, and the children have to identify these proverbs. But they will not be in the exact words. So the 4 proverbs are also given to the children. So 4 proverbs are all that glitters is not gold, face is the index of mind, do or die, and where there is a will, there is a way. So and there's also meanings of these proverbs in the side. Now all these proverbs, the elements of this proverb will be there in the story, and when they read out the story, they have to understand which proverbs connects to which part of the story. So for facilitated reference, we are also giving you a handout to show where the proverb is linking to the story. So basically in the story, you will not find the exact sentence, exact proverb will not be in the story, but the message will be in the story, and the children have to find out which line in the story goes to which proverb. So basically it's like a matching activity. And you have to make sure that the kids are right. So make sure to go through the facilitator handout and see if the students have got it right. Because this can get a little difficult because the exact words are not in the story. So just make sure you help them out with this activity. Now for the next part of the main question, we are going to do a courage activity. So for this activity, you have to give them papers and tell the children to think of any incident or any time in life where they've done something that they're really proud of, an act of bravery, or somewhere where they were really courage enough to face a challenge. So give them some time to think of it, and then let them write or draw this incident that they went through in the past. So they can draw or write, and it can be anything. It can even be things like fighting darkness, or they were scared of somebody and they overcome the challenge. So it can be anything that they are proud of, that they've taken this act of courage to overcome something. So for this, once they write, and they can write or draw. So once they write or they finish drawing, the facilitator can go around and just take a look at what they've done, and then we'll move to the third activity, which is a continuation of this. What you're going to do is put the students in pairs. So the entire class has a story where they shared one incident in life where they were really brave enough to overcome a challenge. So they all have these stories. Now what you're going to do is bring the class together and make pairs. So every team has 2 students, and both of them have their stories. Now what you'll have to do is tell the students to share their stories to each other. So I will share my story with you, and you will share your story with mine. Once that is happening, what you're going to do is each of these students is going to hand a badge of courage to the other person. So you have this star that you're going to give every child. So every child will be given the star, and what you're going to do is they're going to cut the star out. So when they cut the star out, it's going to look like this. So they cut the star out, and then what they do is they stick it backside. You can staple it or stick the badge, whichever is convenient. And please help the students when they are doing this. Please go around and just make sure that they are getting it right. So once they stick it like that, you are getting a ribbon which goes inside the star. So this is the badge of courage, and they tie a knot at the back, and then they are going to put it around someone who is telling them the story. So I hope this is clear. This is the badge of courage, and once they make this badge and once both the students have shared this story, you are going to tell the students to give them this badge and appreciate them for their act of courage. So each of them will share their story and give a badge to each other. So every child is given a star, and they are going to exchange it with the other student. So this is just to motivate them and encourage them, and also appreciate them for what they have done. So this is how you are going to end this session. So yeah, thank you.